Hello and welcome to the Entrefluential Life podcast. I'm your host, John Tanner.
And I am your co-host, Sebastian Tanner.
Welcome to episode 50. This is a
Wow.
milestone episode for us because I can't believe it. Sebastian, can you believe we are on episode 50?
I can't believe that either. I don't know, man. It's a big number for us.
That is a huge
Maybe like
number
for other
us.
people, they're in like
50
the thousands and
episodes.
stuff. I know. For us, it's
That's like a whole year of content. If you think about it, there's 52 weeks in a year, and we're on episode 50. So if we did one episode every single week for an entire year, that's where we would be. Just practically right there on a whole year of episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
But really, I mean, in actuality, we're on season 3, right? And we started about, was it 2 years ago already, Sebastian? Was it a year and a half ago? Was it 2 years ago?
I think it was like, it's getting close to 2 years.
All right. Why don't we just ask the binder, the original binder, where we actually have our first episodes in here, and see what date we started.
Yeah.
Wow. I have to wipe the dust off because of how old this stuff is.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to go back pretty far.
I'm already back to December of 2023. Well, that wasn't that long ago, actually. Right?
Let me see. Maybe if I look.
I probably wasn't very good at writing down dates on this.
Honestly, I think that I can find it.
Here's an episode 27 from November of 2022.
Wow, that was November 2022. I'm looking 27. Back on the
So I think
it looks like episode 1.
2022.
I don't know. It looks like episode 1 was streamed a year ago. So
we're in 2024, Sebastian. We were back in here's June of 2022, episode 9. Yeah, I think we started in March of 22. Weird. So in March,
it was definitely 22.
Yeah, March will be 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Can you believe that? Do you remember this? The Entrefluential Life with Sebastian and John. Here was our questions.
Wow. Yeah.
Interviews. Remember that?
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's when every episode was basically an interview.
Let's go back in time and walk through our memories, but it kind of just happened.
Yep. It's pretty crazy. We've we haven't been interviewing too many people in the past episodes, but like when we first started, like to be able to connect with so many different people with different backgrounds has been amazing.
Yeah, we had some amazing people on our show. Check this out. This is cool. Season 2 started January of 2023. That was
wow.
Season 2. So yeah, we started season 1 in March of 2022.
Wow.
Yep.
Time flies.
This is the original, the Entrefluential Life book from 2 years ago.
Man.
Yeah. Here was the first notes that we wrote down for our podcast.
Wow.
Yep. This is where we came up with the big ideas, man. The interview questions, the content that we were gonna. Here's the actual first the first schedule that I created for our show.
Man, I remember.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Yeah, because we were really planning everything out.
Yeah. Look what I wrote here. I wrote, use your gifts from God. I put skills, message, and purpose. And then skills, message, and purpose became physical, mental, and spiritual tips of the day.
That's right.
Right?
Wow.
Is that cool?
Oh, man. That's so crazy.
I have your episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6. And we were going to do Tai Chi. I have here Tai Chi.
That's right.
We never got around to doing that. I still would think we need to go back and do some Tai Chi.
Oh, my gosh. That makes me think of the movie Men of Tai Chi.
Men of Tai Chi. I haven't seen that.
I think, Keanu Reeves was in it. I think he directed it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Wow.
come on. You haven't seen?
No,
No,
I have to see it,
come
man. Now
on.
you got me
And
interested.
you're a fan of Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, I know. Shame on me, right? I know,
Oh my
man.
gosh, that movie was amazing because like the sensei in that movie was very powerful, but looks weak, right? Like because he's an old man. But
Okay.
it's because of the fundamentals and the technique. It's like I think somehow in the movie, if I remember correctly, people think like in that movie they looked at Tai Chi like it was yoga, like it's something just like that, like the movements and everything is very yoga-like in the
Yeah.
essence of it. It's not
Hmm.
specifically for fighting, but the fundamentals of the Tai Chi, from what I remember, can be applied into real fighting scenarios. But because of the energy and the chi is so strong that he was able to fight off there was a fight scene where the guy did some crazy stuff. It was insane. It
Wow.
was like you're gonna have to watch the movie. I don't remember everything because it came out years ago. I think like in 2015, 2016, around there, or 17.
Okay.
But it was just amazing. Like there was a fight scene, I believe the student fought the master. I don't know who he fought. I think the student was going against the master, and he was able to like absorb the hits and just like push it behind him. And so the impact of the hit that he got, he didn't feel it. It's kind of like an Ip Man, an IP Man,
Yeah, I know
when
Ip Man.
he
Yeah,
did
Ip
that, where
Man.
he absorbed the blows and then he
That
like,
guy he fought at the very end was a
oh,
Tai Chi
Master
master.
Z, Master Z.
He was a Tai Chi master.
Yeah, I think it was Master Z. I think he got his own movie, but that was amazing. Anyways, it's just
Yeah.
I can't
Now
do a
you made
whole
me
big
want to go watch one of
explanation
those
for
movies.
it.
I
But man, it
want to go
was
watch all the
amazing.
Ip Man movies now.
Oh my gosh, me too. But
Yeah,
it's
man.
just
And
crazy
I have
because of
47
the
running right here. I love that movie.
oh, I love that movie too. Oh
If you guys
gosh,
have not seen this movie, 47 running,
it's
you have to watch
amazing.
this movie. It's so good. So good.
We've seen that movie at least over 20 times.
I
I
I can
mean,
I can watch it over and over, man. I love that
we
movie
would
so
get
much.
Chinese food and
I
watch
know with
47
Chinese food,
Ronin.
absolutely with Chinese food.
That was the plan.
This is what I want.
Oh,
Right. A couple
that's one of
days
my
ago,
favorite
I
Keanu
ordered
Reeves
some Chinese
movies.
food, but since I'm
Oh yeah.
fasting, I ordered what's called the Buddhist Delight, and
Yep.
it's vegan. It's tofu with
Yep.
vegetables.
Oh, it sounds good if they make it the right way. It
Oh,
sounds
it's so
really
good. I've
good.
had it twice
Oh
already, man.
man.
It's so good,
You're
so
telling
good.
me about it. Oh
And
yeah.
then so like I cheated a little bit because I'm having noodles. You're not supposed to have noodles on your fasting, but I've already did my
Right.
21-day fast. I'm just on my second half, and I'm
Yeah.
not eating any meat. I'm still sticking to the diet, but I did have
Yep.
noodles, and so I ordered the vegetarian lo mein.
Yeah.
So I had the Buddhist delight and vegetarian lo mein. So awesome, man. So good.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh yeah, and I've been watching Kung Fu, the TV series on HBO Max. Yeah,
Oh,
man. I've already seen the whole season, all 3 seasons, but I'm rewatching them now. I'm in the beginning of season 2 on my rewatch.
nice.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
love it,
seen that
man.
yet, so I
Such a
gotta
cool
check that
show. Oh,
out.
you have to watch it, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a
I
reboot.
think,
It's not like the old
yeah.
Kung Fu show with David Carradine. The
Oh,
story's
okay.
different. It's modern day. It's in San Francisco. It's cool, man. You got to check it
Oh,
out.
that sounds nice. Yeah, I need to check that out. You were telling me
So
about it. I thought you were watching Kung Fu Panda.
no. It's Kung Fu. Yeah.
Oh man.
Although I can watch Kung Fu Panda.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Never ever. The
The
whooshy finger
Wushu finger
hold.
hold.
That was my favorite part of the
That's
movie, is the
awesome.
whooshy finger hold. He was like, "Oh
That's,
my gosh!" He had Poe with his finger. He's like,
yeah.
"No, it's a whooshy finger
Ah!
hold." She was like,
So silly,
"Skadoosh."
man. So perfect. Love it.
Oh man.
That's awesome, man. So
Oh
how's
boy.
the work going, man? Everything okay with your job?
It's been great. I love it. I
Yeah.
think today was day 6, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it was day 6 today. So I mean, it's been great. My boss told me that I did a great job today with everything. Like I was doing a lot of errands for them, had to go and pick up some different things, pick up the tracks for the garage door. I had to go pick up 10-foot doors by myself. Everything I was doing was like all the errands I did was by myself.
Uh-huh.
And before it was always like with one of my bosses. There's just like me and the 2 bosses, the people that started the company. So to do that stuff by yourself is like a bit challenging because you don't want to damage the doors at all. You want to keep it careful. But the people that we work with and that we get the materials from are amazing. Like the guy helped me out, load it into the car and everything like that. So made it a lot easier for me than just having to pick up the doors and put it into the van myself, because the van is a little bit, the one I'm in right now. I had a van that I started with, like this big GMC van, but the registration on that was expired. So while they're getting the new stickers and everything for that, I'm in this Dodge Grand Caravan. So a
It's
lot
not as big.
newer, not as big. So it's like nicer, it's newer. I like, it's more fun to drive, but
I bet.
it's nicer to drive, but at the same time, like I'm pretty comfortable in that GMC, like in that GMC work van, because the way it's like a truck.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So like for me to sit in there is more comfortable because they have a lot of work materials in the Grand Caravan, so I can't put the seat back so much. So with me being 6 something, like
you feel a little crunched.
I'm a little bit crunched, you know, like I was able to put the seat back a little bit, so I'm comfortable, but I do miss being in that other van, especially with, I can throw doors in there and whatever, and the metal tracks and all that, and it fits comfortably. So it's a lot easier for me to do it in the GMC, the work truck. So for me, I would much rather be back in the GMC, but I like to be in a work vehicle at all is they were gracious enough to let me in a work vehicle. So it's a blessing that I'm grateful for. I'm not going to complain, but I will say it's definitely easier because the Grand Caravan's like, it's really not so grand. They call it grand, but man, you're trying to put a 10-foot door in there. It's not, it's like not as grand as it seems.
2 or 3 rug rats, it's pretty grand.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it's definitely fun to drive. I even like the big beauty too, like the GMC.
The big beauty.
it's a beauty. Like it's pretty ugly.
Big Bertha.
It's pretty ugly. So it's like a joke. Big Bertha. But it's a lot easier fitting those materials in there. But anyways, like the people that we worked with, that we get our shipments from, we have different suppliers for the parts for the doors and everything. So they use like a lot of the same people all the time. So like they're really cool, very friendly. They helped me out, loaded into the car, this guy Justin. So thank you, Justin, for that. He was really cool. He helped me put the 10-foot doors in there. It's like an awkward weight, you know, the garage door panels. So trying to fit that into that car is a lot more difficult than fitting it into the big work truck, into the work van. So other than that, like I picked up some soft horses, you know, like the soft horses that you're going to put like the pieces of wood on.
Oh, yeah.
You saw them. So I picked up some of those from Home Depot. I had to do a couple of errands for them. And then, God, what else? I was using the disc blade. So like it's this tool. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I can use.
Cut metal with?
Yeah. So like, let's say like this is like the tool, right? Yeah. And then there's a little circular blade that's right here.
Yeah.
It's a wheel. And it spins. And so you cut the metal. They have the thin one that's for cutting, and they have the thicker one that's for like
doing that? Are you
buffing.
Doing the cutting?
I do the cutting, yeah.
Are you wearing glasses when you do that, or a mask?
You're supposed to wear glasses. So I try to wear glasses every time I do it, but we couldn't find the glasses today.
Yeah,
and
make sure you get some
you just gotta like exercise caution.
Flying in your eye.
It's a very real risk. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you don't
I would recommend like
the work glasses, then find some sunglasses to put on.
We have work glasses. It's just like we had so much stuff in the van that it was kind of hard to find them today.
Yeah.
And like the time frame, like we were trying to get this done. It was an opener that we've already done it for. So to go back, we had to go back and adjust some things. You're not making any money for that. So like we want to do a perfect job, but at the same time, we have other work to get to sit there fishing for glasses. Like we really didn't feel like fishing through it.
Make sure you get them on your belt,
get it done.
like when you start the job for the day.
Exactly. So it's better to like get the preparation done before you go in there.
You got to have the right tools with you.
You need to, yeah. With that being said,
you're done, man.
Absolutely. So if you are cutting without glasses on, which I don't recommend, this is like one of the like 3 times that I maybe have done it. I usually always wear the glasses. You definitely want to keep, if you're cutting right here, you want to keep your head farther, your eyes farther away from that, because that metal is flying everywhere. You just see sparks flying.
Yeah.
So
and you just need one bad time, you're done.
Exactly. So don't be like me when I'm lazy looking for the glasses. You need to wear them. I'm definitely going to wear them again the next time because it got pretty risky at some points. But
Can I point something out? Because I'm
Yeah.
really excited that you're cutting metal. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really excited that you're cutting metal because you're going to be able to take that knowledge. And let's say if we were to buy a $2,000 container, shipping container, you'd be able to cut the doors and the windows in that shipping container to turn it into a house.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. And you can buy that hardware at like Harbor Freight.
Yeah, I'll be able to cut all of that stuff. I'll be able
that's
to.
Awesome, man.
I mean, just like learning these little things like this is going to help me, especially when we're building houses and, like you said, everything like that. It's going to make it a lot easier. Sorry, we've got a little bit of smoke going on with the kitchen right now, so I'm helping out, open up some windows. But anyways, you're welcome. But yeah, something like this is going to help me out in the long run when we do our own projects. So I'm really happy to be learning these skills. It's going to be fun cutting up those container homes. It's all like transferable skills that I'm learning. Even with houses, like all this stuff that I'm learning, I've always known how to use a drill, but we have regular drills. We have the driver, we have the impact driver and a drill. So the impact driver is a lot more pressure. You definitely want to be careful when you're using it, when you're putting the bolts in. Once you hear the cranking, you don't want to go too far. I'm still in the phase where I'm gauging how far is too far. So I usually do pretty good, but sometimes my boss Jake will be like, all right, once you hear that cranking a couple times, then you want to stop it because then you're going to mess up the hole. So it's definitely in this type of work, like construction work, trade work, anything like this, handyman, you definitely want to be really careful with what you're doing with the tools that you're using. Always wear the protective gear.
After you make your hole with the impact drill, are you putting in a metal anchor?
No. So, I mean, it just depends on what you're doing. So when I'm screwing in, like I use the impact driver to screw in the bolt.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like I use a regular drill and you have a bolt in it. And I want to, like, if I want to drill a screw into the wall, you know what I mean?
How are you attaching the frames to the concrete block?
Well,
are you bolting it to the wall?
It depends on the situation. So when you have concrete, like the other day was the first day, I think it was yesterday, where we had to do something like this, where we were drilling into concrete.
Yeah.
We have to make a hole into the concrete first with a drill bit.
You use a drill bit for that, right?
Yeah. So you have to use I believe it's called the drill bit. Yeah. Like you have to use a hole maker basically.
Yeah.
So you have one hole maker.
It has like grooves and it drives a hole into the wall. And
so they have one.
And then when you drive the hole in the wall, are you putting anchors inside of that the screw will screw into the bolt, or like what's it?
You can put like a washer. I mean, there was
So you don't put anything inside of the hole before you put the bolt in?
No, you just make the hole. You can either use the small hole maker or use the long one that has the grooves in it.
Yeah.
So you make the hole and then you're gonna put the track on the wall on the cement. In this case, we're working with cement. You drill the bolt into the track, and that will hold. In some cases, you might need a washer. So it kind of depends on the track size, the bolt size, and everything like that.
Yeah. A washer is just putting space in between.
It's just a little metal plate. So like, for example, we were drilling into metal at one point because we were in a like they're turning this one warehouse it's a new construction building for a storage unit is what they're making.
Okay.
So they had soldered the original garage door that they had over there that we're replacing. They soldered the track onto the metal. So they just soldered it. So they just
they melted the metal onto the track. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Exactly.
Are you using the soldering iron too? Are you going to learn how
to
use that?
My boss bought one of those yesterday.
Okay.
So I haven't used that yet.
You should wear a mask with as well when you're to do soldering. But that's a really fantastic skill. Like if you go to welding school, they teach you how to do that. Like it's a 6-month program. And soldering is going to be also important for doing the windows and the doors of the container homes. So learn how to do that. You're getting paid to learn a very valuable skill that I was actually thinking of paying $5,000 to go learn on my own. for this, for
Wow.
the real estate project. Yeah, for the development project. That's really fantastic, Sebastian. But listen, we're gonna stop there, and we're gonna, because it's already been 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and dive into our tips of the day.
Oh my
And
gosh.
let's have this conversation again later on, because that's exciting, man.
Absolutely. It's very fun.
You're getting paid like whatever your income is. Just imagine you're getting an extra you're earning an extra $5,000 that you're saving from having to go to a welding school to learn what you're learning.
It's a great way to think about that. Yeah. Anyone in
Yeah.
your apprenticeship has an amazing opportunity like this. I'm very grateful for it. Like I really can't say how grateful I am. Like,
yeah, man, this is
can't,
great learning experience, man. So great.
No, I'm so grateful for it. I
Construction is
appreciate every
awesome,
second
man.
of
Like
it.
it pays
I
very
love it.
well. It pays very well, and it's so practical. It's so useful anywhere you go, any country you go. These skills are useful.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, in the world, everywhere.
It's
Anyone who
amazing.
needs a house or something done with property, commercial or residential, they need your skills. So it's super awesome,
Especially if you find it fun. I haven't had a lot of jobs where it was fun for me.
Oh
this
my
is
God,
like
I'm bored to death. I'm on a computer typing all day. I envy you, man. I'm happy for you. I wish I was out in the field interacting with people and doing things with my hands, because I'm a hands-on person too.
Yeah.
I'm here typing reports, man. Like, it's boring, man.
I know. I
mean, it's needed and necessary, but it's boring.
I know it's boring, but it's also better than what you did before. So
well, that's true. Yeah.
It's always like,
everything.
and then eventually you'll get to the point where like you're doing what you love to do. Like when the podcast takes off, when we can sell courses eventually.
I love doing what we're doing right now. I'm so excited for this every day. I woke up at 3 or 4 o'clock this morning, and I was working on the Entrefluential Life Coach course.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Nice.
I sent you the book. I made some modifications to it, and I emailed it to you so you can see the new rough draft. And
I need to read that still.
A little bit of tweaking, but I wake up in the morning excited about it because I feel like God put that in my heart to do. This is what excites me the most, Sebastian, is interacting with you and sharing content with our audience,
Yeah. And one day you're gonna get paid for it. So
I think so. Whether I do or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's okay. It's nice to have some cash for your, to carry on and do the things you want to do. But it's just the impact is what's most important, because I want to get to heaven. We're all heading to heaven, right? And at my age, turning 50 this year, I'm halfway there. I look at it in that way. Like I'm halfway through my life. So I'm getting, as the closer you get towards going to heaven, you want to be able to arrive there, and meet people that you had an impact on, and say, yeah, man, thank you for sharing that message. Thank you for sharing your testimony, because of you, I straightened out my ways. I had a better life. I did all these things, thanks to your guidance, thanks to your help, your support, whatever, your words of encouragement. That's what I want. That's the treasure, man. Like, if you really change your perspective on looking at those treasures as opposed to like physical life treasures, that stuff is way more valuable, man.
It's 100%
cash money. Like we need, you gotta have money for the mission. But
so that's to me, like that's the reality of it, is that we're not doing it for the money. For 2 years, we haven't made jack crap off of it.
It's cost us money. Yeah.
And if anything, it's costed you money.
A lot. Yeah.
Like to invest in it, to promote it. But I believe that when you provide value to somebody, you provide them a service, you're gonna get paid for that. And it doesn't matter how much. It's gonna happen eventually where this will be our career, where we can have motivational speaks and we can have organized things and sell courses and stuff. We will get to that point one day. Yeah, and the beautiful part is that that's not the reason why we do it, but the reality of it, like what Brendan Burchard, I remember you sent me one of his podcasts, and he said the reality of it is you have to survive. And how do you survive in this world?
Make a living.
You need to make money. You have to make a living. So are we going to make a living off of it one day? Absolutely, yes. But are we just going to just only monetize it and only look for the money? No, because we're going to provide so much free content that it's not just about the money.
Exactly.
And so that's the thing I find with certain people.
We can do this full time. That would be cool.
Exactly. And we'll still be able to give free content out there that people can see that we really love to do this as a genuine thing, not just for the money.
Exactly.
You need the money to survive, but at the same time, there's people in the world that are just going to charge for everything, and there's people in the world that love what they do and they want to help out, so they give back. And that's always been our goal. And the more money we make, the more we can give back to people.
Yeah, and contribute to charities and
exactly. Donate to church,
do good
everything.
For other people, like be a blessing to others.
When we used to go and the stuff that we used to go do the missionary work. We used to go and paint the houses, and we used to go and we would sand the wood and stuff.
At the church all the time.
Exactly. So I'm going to get back into that. That's actually my goal, is to find a church out here for me and my girlfriend to go to and start going back to church. And I want to start volunteering because I have different skills to offer. And if they're doing these volunteer work where they need someone that's handy and stuff like that, do I know everything yet? No, but like I'm learning a lot of skills where I definitely can help out with these certain types of things. I can be that type of person that like, I'd love to do it for free.
Yeah,
like it would,
paint the walls,
it's an honor.
Clean stuff up. Yeah,
stuff like that's even basic stuff. Yeah, anybody can do that. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get too far away from the show today.
Yeah,
let's get back. That's like the more we're gonna get, the more we're gonna give.
Man. Let's go.
Yep, let's do it. So, I think you guys are not gonna see me for a quick second here, but I'll be right back. It's a little bit weird. I actually got the laptop from my boss, but I have to install the software on it. I have a friend that's he's technical, very tech savvy. So he's going to help me get past these issues that I'm having with installing the software, because I can't sign into the laptop at all. But soon, guys, I will be on the laptop, so you won't have to miss seeing my face while I read these things. The fitness tip of the day is an ultimate ab workout. It looks like DareB workout, dareb.com. Looks like that's the person that created this routine. It looks like it's another circuit workout. It's levels 1, 2, and 3. This is the same thing like last time, a 2-minute rest in between the levels, I guess, in between the sets. You know, this is something I would like to ask them, because it's like level 1 is 3 sets, level 2 is 4 sets, level 3 is 5 sets. So I'm kind of like, one thing I would like to have it more clear is, do I take the 2-minute rest in between the sets? I believe that that's how it is. So that's what we're going to go with. Level 1, if you do the 3 sets, do your first set of the circuit, take a 2-minute rest, do your second set, 2-minute rest, and then do the third set. And it goes like this. The circuit is,
I have
you
it
start
on the
off.
screen.
Perfect. Excellent. So they can see that while I'm reading it off. You do the 10 crunches to start. After that, you're going to do 10 folded crunches. After that, you have 10 circle crunches, 10 leg raises, 10 scissor legs, 10 raised leg circles, 10 flutter kicks, 10 heel tap, and 5 back extensions. This circuit, you guys don't want to take a rest in between these exercises. You want to do your best to go through all of them as much as you can. If you're really not feeling a burn, try going through the whole, like the level 1 is 3 sets of this. If you don't feel a burn throughout that, and maybe you need a couple more reps added in all of these exercises, do more. Like if I do 10 crunches, it might burn me differently than if somebody else does 10 crunches. You might need to do 12 crunches or 15 crunches. And you really, like, when you're feeling the burn, that's when things are working, especially when you're trying to do these ab workout routines. If you're not feeling any type of burn, you're not doing any work. That's strangely, like, that's what I believe. I don't feel it anything. Like if I'm not sore the next day, then I didn't do jack crap at the gym. I didn't work hard enough. So when you guys are doing these, please try to go to the point where you feel like it's burning. Go through each of these exercises. It's a circuit workout. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9 exercises in the circuit. Keep going through that, and boom, do the whole circuit with no rest. Now you get 2 minutes before your next set. Do it again, and then 2 minutes rest. Do the next set. You completed level 1 of this circuit training. If I would have any other piece of advice, I would say, if you feel like you don't need to rest for 2 minutes, then don't rest for 2 minutes. If you feel like you need a 30-second rest in between sets, do 30 seconds, do a minute. Maybe as the sets are going on, you might need to increase the rest time. Start off at 2 minutes. If you have never done this before, you might need that. I don't know. Everyone's different. So treat it with caution to how your body responds to it. Just because this thing says to rest in between sets for 2 minutes. It doesn't mean that every one of us is going to recover at that same time. Some of us are
Yeah.
recovering faster than others.
Yeah.
Rest for 30 seconds in between sets. And then if it gets more intense, then up it to 45 seconds or a minute and just see how it is for you.
Yeah. Even if you can only do like the first 3 exercises, that's okay. That's 30 repetitions. And if you're just getting started, that's a lot. So
that's perfectly fine.
Be okay with
exactly.
that, because you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to hurt yourself, and
you
want
don't
to make
want to
it fun
hurt.
so
Yes.
that you don't end up. I'm sorry, it just doesn't come out too well because of the lighting. But yeah, you don't want to make it not fun. You want to keep it fun.
You want to.
Come back and do it
That's
again.
what's going to keep you having longevity in the gym, is finding a way to make it fun.
100%.
It's got to be something where it's always a pleasure. It's never a chore.
Yeah.
Getting to the gym is the chore for me, but the workouts is the fun. Yeah. So if you can find a way to get past the mental crutch, you have good music, put like a YouTube episode on, even put like a motivational speaker, put a podcast or whatever. I don't do the same thing every time I go to the gym. Sometimes I'll listen to music for a couple sessions. Maybe I'll listen to it for one session. Then the next day I go in, I'm listening to Eric Thomas, or I'm listening to CT Fletcher, or I'm listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger, or I'm listening to a compilation of all the guys, or I'm listening to different compilations really cool, of motivation. Man.
That's cool.
That's what gets me going. Like sometimes I don't need to use I don't need music. Like it's the same thing with pre-workouts. Like I'm kind of leaning off of using pre-workout unless I'm really tired from work now.
Really? I haven't been using it either, but I miss it, man. It actually helps me get charged
up.
It
gives you a good boost. Sigma. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, they have Arctic Blast flavor, 6 Sigma pre-workout, and it freaking is great. Ooh. I like it better than C4 Explosion, C4 Ripped.
So I like the Celsius a lot. I had started off when I first started lifting weights 2 years ago.
I like Celsius for like a little bit of a wake up, but not for pre-workout. I don't think it's strong enough for me.
So that's how it is. Another thing that you can try using, like for people that like, if you want to focus more on the muscle building aspect, creatine and the pre-workout combined is also great. I'm going to have sessions where I don't use the pre-workout because if I'm not tired, I feel like I'm just going to have to lift the weight no matter what. Like it just like, for me, it's like, it does help. It can help you train harder 100%. But there's some sessions I've had where I don't know if it really
recovery too.
So that's another thing. So there's a lot of good reasons to use
your muscles, so it makes it grow faster.
Oh yeah, the creatine. I mean, creatine. I'm gonna like that's something that I want to use every day.
It makes you gain weight because you're holding water weight. So like you have to keep that in mind.
Exactly. When you guys are looking at the scale, if you take creatine, you're retaining more. Just like my father said, you're gonna retain more water weight because it's hydrating your muscles. It's putting more water in your muscles. That's just making you look fuller. You're going to look like you have a quarter pump all the time.
Makes you look like you have bigger muscles.
It does. And then even in the gym, I feel like I get a pump faster when I'm using the creatine than when I'm not using the creatine.
Yeah.
So it's also like everyone kind of like the results vary.
Make you stronger.
I mean,
because of that water inside of your muscles.
It helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Creatine is probably the most studied substance. Like I watched this guy, Dr. Mike Israetel. He's incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to everything fitness, everything diet for men, for women. He's a freaking doctor, I think. I think he's literally a doctor, but his name is Dr. Mike Israetel.
Okay.
I think he might actually be a doctor. I watch his videos and I don't know that, so I'm like, I feel like a fake fan. I need to find out. I'm a fake fan, man. I know this guy, but I don't.
But you like his content.
I love his content, but he knows so much about it. It's like the science behind it. He'll tell you every little fact in detail. But the fact of the matter is that I believe he said that creatine and other people have said like creatine is one of the most studied it's one of the most studied supplements out there when it comes to what you can take for the gym, what you can take for building muscle. Of course, that's like not steroids. That's one of the best things that you can use. So I love creatine. Like that's something I want to start using every single day. I use it every workout right now, and I definitely feel a difference when I'm using it. Yeah. I love the way it feels. So it's and it's not bad for you. Like,
I take it too. I've been taking it for years. I put it in my protein shake.
It's great. It's great for the protein
or
shakes
have
or
it in the pre-workout.
Yeah, I like mixing it with the pre-workout. So
well, if you buy C4 it already and Six Sigma, they both have it already mixed in the
the
pre-workout.
only thing I can say about that is though, is because Dr. Mike suggests using 5 grams of creatine per serving. So like he said, like if you want to start using creatine, he suggested you take 5 grams of creatine, and that's going to help you build muscle. When you drink those pre-workouts and they have some creatine in it, it might only be because it might be by milligrams, for example. So 5 grams of the creatine is 5,000 milligrams because 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. So
Yeah.
if you have something that only has like 1,000 milligrams or 2,000 milligrams, if you never taken creatine before, are you going to see progress? Absolutely. But if you really want to like get the muscle building process going more, he suggests taking 5 grams of creatine, which would be
Wow.
5,000 milligrams. So that's one thing I keep in mind is if like that's my goal because I want to get bigger, I want to get jacked and stuff. You know what I mean? So not
I'd
too
like to run
crazy.
that by my primary care doctor first, just to make sure that, because that might
And
be.
he also suggests that as well.
Yeah, because
so,
it might be too much, and like you have to look and see what your body can handle. You got to look at
exactly.
your genetic composition, whatever your body is at right now.
Absolutely.
Your blood work, to see if you can handle that.
Absolutely.
It might be too much. So like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot. So it sounds great, but it sounds like it might be too much. I don't know. Better to check with the
It
doctor
also
first.
depends, like sometimes like depending on what brand you're getting, they'll have different serving sizes.
Sure,
So
absolutely they do.
that's why at the end of the day, everything with the gym, everything with the training, the diet, the supplements, it all comes down to everybody's different.
Yep.
So you got to learn what's good for your body.
Yep.
If you're going to start
Yep.
small. Only use the recommended serving. Only do that. So like those drinks that you said that already has the creatine, it's amazing.
It's already
for
good
me,
enough.
I want to take more, and my body responds to taking the 5 grams of creatine really well. So for me, it's not affecting me negatively in any way at all. It's affected me in a positive way.
Yeah.
For everybody else, you might be different. Figure out what's good for you. Start off with that. If it has less, look at how much it has. If it has less, that's good, because if you've never taken it before, you don't want to go too crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I wish I had my bottle with me. I want to take a look and see how many grams are in it. I'll have to check it out after the show.
Yeah, I like those, man. I like those. I like the Celsius. I like the Ghost. Like Ghost is like a. Remember I had the Nutter Butter protein?
The protein powder.
I have it right over here.
Oh,
I have
man.
it right
Did
over
you get
here.
the Nutter Butter one? We need to become affiliates of these people so we can earn a commission for recommending them. Oh, you have 2 of them.
So,
wow. Is that? Oh, it is.
This is the gold right here.
Wow.
This is the gold.
That is power stuff right there, man. 26 grams of protein.
This is like,
and it tastes so
it feels
amazing.
like you're cheating.
Oh,
it feels like you're cheating. It's so delicious.
Shake after this show.
Oh my god, the amazing stuff about this is it's only 160 calories, 26 grams of protein, and it tastes like it's sweet. It tastes like
a dessert.
Yeah, because you don't like it? Yeah, my girlfriend doesn't.
It's liquid.
It's Chips Ahoy flavor as well.
Oh, wow.
She hates this one. I have a sweet tooth, so she doesn't like protein that's really too sweet.
Okay.
I love everything super sweet. Like, I'm a super freaking junk food eater. Like, so for me to try to like curb that with something healthy, if you're like me and you love sweets and you're like you'll have the whole dozen of box of donuts and not just have one like a regular person, and you love the sweets at that level, I'm telling you, the Ghost protein, like, maybe I should just keep it here so that way they'll end up sponsoring us. You know what I mean? Just like it's just gonna start being in the videos from now on in the background.
Good job, Sebastian.
The Ghost protein. But yeah,
that's awesome, man.
So she's suggesting that you can also use unflavored protein because you can put it like in your, like, she started having Proats, which is protein oatmeal. You can put the unflavored oatmeal, the unflavored protein powder. Let's say you get the peaches and cream oatmeal packages, the brown sugar and cinnamon, the different flavors. You can put the unflavored protein powder in there and it tastes amazing. You can also put that in mac and cheese as well. You can cook with it with a lot of different things. So I like these because I have a sweet tooth. The unflavored protein powder is also a great idea because it's very versatile and it's not changing the flavor of what you're adding it to.
Yeah,
So
you
if you
said
want to get in more
unflavored. You mean
protein,
plain flavor?
it's unflavored.
It's called unflavor.
It's called
Okay.
unflavored.
Oh wow,
It has no taste.
that's interesting. Yeah,
Like
it's plain.
virtually, I think if you drink it by itself, you would taste something. But when you mix
Yeah,
it with mac and cheese, when you mix it with your oatmeal, your
yeah.
flavored oatmeal or
We
whatever,
have plain flavored yogurt right now, and it's too bland, man. I don't like the taste of plain yogurt. Like I have to mix strawberry
I
jelly with
can't,
it.
I can't, I can't do that either.
Yeah, it's
So
too
I get like the
boring.
strawberry yogurts and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't like because I'm such a freaking foodie, man. Like I love sweet crap. I
yeah,
love all the
yeah,
stuff that's wrong
yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
You got to practice self
Um,
discipline there.
well, that's why I don't keep it around me. You know, like that's the only
But no,
way.
you have a good supplement right there, the protein shake.
That's also part of the discipline. So
Yep. Replace
find
it
a
with something
way.
positive. And you know what else you can do is you can buy the protein peanut butter cups by Quest
Oh,
and have those. They taste just like Reese's
don't
peanut butter
forget.
cups. Never forget the Quest.
Never forget. Yeah,
That's
those
awesome,
things are
man.
great too for the sweets. But yeah, that's it, man. Like
Okay.
I love this brand. That's why I brought the whole thing up anyways, is because they make energy drinks, they make pre-workout drinks, they even make hydration drinks. So like the Gatorades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This brand has all of that.
Nice.
So
Oh,
for
we need to
me,
see
I
if they
love
have,
to
if they have
mix.
affiliate sign up so that we can earn a commission for recommending them.
Oh my God, we gotta become an affiliate for them. Yeah,
Go to their website and check it out,
yeah,
man.
I gotta
Look up
check
on
that
their
out.
webpage.
So,
Check it out.
yep, yep, yep. You guys can get my favorite flavors right here.
Right?
We're gonna get the
We'll add
link
a
for
link
that
to the show
soon.
notes so you can help
Yeah,
support our show
yeah, we're
and
definitely gonna do that.
and
That's a
build your
great
muscles
idea.
at the same time. It's
And
a
build your
win-win.
muscles at the same time. But yeah,
All right,
guys, that's
what's our mental tip of the day?
our
What's our
mental
positive
tip of the
affirmation?
day. That's what our mental tip of the day is today. It's a positive affirmation. This is the quote. It looks like it's unknown. The quote says, "Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what could go right." So, for me, there's always two different ways to look at a situation. And I'm still training myself on when I think of the situation negatively, but I also have the gift of like I can talk to my girl about something and we can both have a different attitude on it. Like, okay, what if this happens? But I'm like, well, what if this happens? And that's with every conversation I have with anyone. It's like you can be excited about what can go right, or you can be negative and worried about what could go wrong in a situation. And it's always better to think in a way that's gonna give you more positivity. So
Yeah,
instead
be
of being
optimistic.
negative, like you gotta be optimistic. Like for example, for me to get this job,
Hmm.
that was something that's a big life-changing moment. Like this is now it's gonna be a career for me where I'm not gonna be hopping around to a different job. I'm gonna be with them for a while. So for me, in that moment of looking like of transitioning from jobs, it's a very scary thing, and you also don't want to be irresponsible. When you want to be responsible, you want to keep the cash flow coming in. You don't want to just stop working because you don't like your job and not have anything else, because that's really irresponsible to do. And so in that moment, I
Instead of
knew that
thinking of what
something
could
was
go
better for
wrong,
me
you have to be optimistic and think of the positive benefits
about
from
what can go
from
right. And I
going from
always
that
had a
job to this
feeling
other job.
exactly. And something always told me to call like this company.
Mhm.
And here I am working for these people that started their own business. It's a family-owned business. It's something that I'm in the beginning stages of. It's just two guys. It's just me and the two owners.
As
So
opposed to being part of a corporation with all of the structure. I mean, structure is great. It's awesome, but it's also kind of exciting to be a part of something that is taking off, right? That's a new
it's
build out.
incredibly exciting. It's
Yeah.
incredibly exciting. And like in that moment, I was worried first
And
about
they've been
not
around
working
for a
for a
while
little bit.
already. How long has this company been in
I mean,
business?
they have Braintree Garage Door has been around here for the past few years, like the past like 3 4 years, maybe 5. But
Okay.
they have
So they're established.
it's yeah. I mean they have contracts with Quirk dealerships like Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, GMC, like these car dealerships. Quark has 17 of these car dealerships out here that we service.
Oh wow, that's a big
And that's
contract.
not all. They have other places that we service for them as well.
That's
And that's
awesome.
just one of their things. They also have other jobs that they get.
Okay, so
So they definitely establish themselves as like a quality, they do a
yeah,
quality work everywhere they go. They've
right.
definitely established themselves, but they have a lot more experience than just opening up
Yeah.
in here in Massachusetts.
So
But yeah,
tying into the message of the day, the mental tip of the day
yep,
is sometimes you're going to be faced with making a change, and
yes.
instead of thinking of the negative things that could happen, focus on the positive things that could happen, right?
Yeah, and not even just making the change, it's everyday life. It's everyday life with everything that you go through,
Absolutely,
regardless
man.
if you make a
Wow.
change or not.
Yep, you're
It's
right. It's not just about work, it's about everything in life.
it's
You're
about
right.
life. It's
Yep.
about life. It's
Yep.
about your what type of person are you? Are you a negative Nancy, a Debbie Downer, or are you that one person that stuff happens all the time, but you never see them get flustered? That's how my boss is. I never see him get flustered. Just like I talked about in the last episode. Like, how do you go through that? How do you get all these things happening to you, all these different obstacles, and you're not even like stressing about it? You're just going, you're just making it happen. He doesn't
Yeah.
believe, and I said, I don't believe that that will make anything better.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
believe
Yep.
that that's going to solve anything. I believe in, I keep going. I thought, okay, this problem happened. There's a solution for it. Let's do that and let's keep going. What's the next step? That's how you win.
Yeah.
That's how
And
you
so it's all
win
about
life.
mindset, right?
Exactly. And that's that mindset of he's not thinking about what's going to go wrong. He's thinking about what's going to go right.
Yeah.
And he
I
also
love
said that
that.
if things like that didn't happen in life, it would just be boring. And like when you think like that, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool because it's like, yeah, like crap's going to happen, but to
Things
be
are going to
able to think
happen, but
about
how
what
you
can go
respond to
right,
them is up to you.
and that's when you have to think about what's going to go right.
Yeah.
Like that's a very powerful quote. Stop
It is
thinking
very
about the
powerful.
negative
It's
crap.
a powerful mindset, like a
Yeah,
frame of mind. It's a
that
way of living.
mentality is, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word that describes like impeccable, but not that's not the word I'm trying to think of. I mean, it's just you're gonna win when you have that mentality. That
Hmm.
mentality is undefeatable.
Yeah. Just stay optimistic.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So that's the mental tip of the day. I love that quote. Thank you for sending me that quote. That's like,
Me too. I love it.
I
I love it.
love
It
it.
wasn't the first time I've seen that one. I've seen that one before.
Yeah, me too.
Really
I
cool.
have the motivation app on my phone, so on my lock screen, I have two little widgets that's showing me two different quotes, and it rotates throughout the hours every single day. So
Oh,
when I look at
get
my
out of here. That's
phone,
awesome, man. I
I
need
see
that.
these different quotes. It's called the motivation app, and
Okay.
you download it, and you can put
Okay.
these widgets on your thing. That's what I used to post on the Instagram. I
That's
would post a
awesome, man.
motivational quote of the day. I'm gonna start doing that again. Um, but yeah, like this is something like I see two different motivational quotes at a time, multiple times throughout the day, and so
Nice. That's valuable.
in the right way to think like a winner, just think like a successful person. Um, it's
It
good to feed
happens. You
yourself with that type
manifest
of
it.
information.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're putting out the right frequency and you're manifesting it back to you. I mean, really, at the end of the day,
Exactly.
God gave us that gift. If
Yep.
you live in alignment with His will and you have good intentions and you send that out, then you get it back. Those good intentions, those
Exactly.
blessings. God already knows what you need. 100%, He knows what you need. He's already seen your whole
Yeah.
life, your whole future. He's seen it all. So He knows what you want before you even ask. So if you're thinking
Exactly.
positive and you're acting in accord with His rules and regulations, which are beneficial for us, then the things that you desire are going to come to you because He wants to bless you with what makes you happy.
What goes around comes around.
Yep. And if you're bad, you're going to get bad things. So yeah, might as well do things positive, might as well be good and expect good things to come.
That's right.
Yep. And if you are going through a challenging time, then there's a lesson in it. Try to figure it out faster than slower.
Just like we talked about before, that might have been the thing that you were asking God for. You're asking Him for patience. He's going to put you in a situation where
to
you have
develop
to
it.
display patience and develop
Yeah.
patience. You want to ask for courageousness. You want to ask for financial responsibility and stuff like that. Like, He's put me in that damn position so many times and I failed over and over again. That's why
I
this
know,
time I'm
man.
like, okay, when I
I'm
start getting
like,
these
okay,
commission checks,
I'm gonna do it your way this time because I keep
yup,
messing up doing it my way.
exactly,
I'm still learning that one.
exactly. Meets the most of
That's
us are, man.
that's a tough
Most of
one.
us are.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the spiritual tip of the day.
All right.
And today we're going to read a summary of, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Habakkuk.
That's the first one that I've seen you not be able to, that you didn't know if you could pronounce it. I'm
Habakkuk.
always asking you.
Habakkuk. I
I
guess on
think
all this
that
stuff,
sounds right.
but
That sounds right.
being a former English teacher, I'm pretty good because I know derivations, root words, but
This is our kitty baby
this
girl.
one's still throwing me for a loop. But anyways, let's go with Habakkuk. And if anybody knows the correct pronunciation, then let us
This is
know.
her kitty. She's
Aw.
jealous. This is baby girl.
Hey, that's our guest for the show.
This is our guest speaker today. How do you like living with me?
Hello, guest speaker. Too bad.
Oh,
It's a good thing you're over there and not over here because I'd be dying right now with
All right. I'm gonna let you
think,
get into it.
all right, here we go. All right, the small book of Habakkuk is for people who feel overwhelmed by trouble. It's short and well organized. In the first two chapters, Habakkuk told the Lord his frustrations. He couldn't understand why God would allow circumstances to collapse around him. The Lord answered, and the two engaged in a conversation. It's helpful to have a version of the Bible that tells you in marginal headings when Habakkuk is speaking and when the Lord is speaking. In Habakkuk 2:4, the Lord told Habakkuk that godly people must live by faith, a verse that is later quoted in Galatians, Romans, and Hebrews. As Habakkuk pondered the Lord's responses in chapters 1 and 2, he was encouraged in his ability to trust God. He composed a hymn of faith in chapter 3, and his conclusion is one of the most picturesque expressions of faith in Scripture. Though the fig tree may not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, though the labor of the olive may fail, and the fields yield no food, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. How often we're overwhelmed. Our lives are buffeted by troubles, sometimes when we least expect it. We cannot walk by sight, but we can walk by faith. We may not be able to rejoice in our lot, but we can rejoice in our Lord, who is our strength and who enables us to walk on a higher plane than we had otherwise known.
Wow.
That's the summary.
That was good. That was very powerful.
So, yeah, I mean, it's really about
About
finding the
every single
joy.
one of
Like
these
we were just talking
summaries.
about, you're going to deal with challenges, but you
Yeah,
have the opportunity about the mindset. It ties into the mental tip of the day because
it
you have an
does.
opportunity to find joy even in your challenges because you know that the Lord is with you and he's blessing you even in that experience that you're going through because he's molding you like a potter with clay. He's molding you into this better version of yourself, you 2.0. And so you be joyful that you're being changed, that you're dealing with a struggle, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel that's coming for you. That I can assure you 100% in my life and my walk with Christ. I can assure you 100% that that is true. And so you can find joy even in your struggles.
Isn't it amazing how the mental tip of the day aligns with that summary of the book of Habakkuk?
Yep.
It's like
Perfect.
divine.
It is
It's
divine.
it's
Yeah.
it's just
Because I
amazing how
literally
that
just pulled
works
that
out.
thing off of Pinterest like half an hour before our show started.
And it ties in so perfectly with
And
what
this
the
is my first
message
time
of the
reading
day
this Habakkuk.
was.
Every time we do the show, we read this for the first time. We're sharing it with you every week for the first time.
Yep.
We haven't pre-read it. So it was divine connection right there.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
I
Like,
know, it's
to have the
awesome.
faith, it's so important to have faith in those moments of the hardship. Like, you don't know that those hard times that you're going through are shaping you to be the person that you are today. Like, I used to be a lazy freaking worker. Like, I hated working. I was so lazy. And I don't know, man. The stuff I've been through the past couple of years, it just taught me to go after it. And I was pulling 16-hour days for God junk. I was coming home at midnight a lot of days. Like, I had days where I'd come home at 10, 11, come home and do work on the computer for them for free. I didn't get paid for it.
Yeah,
And
you
that
made a
was my
change.
level of work ethic. That's like, before I went from
Sorry.
not working at all, like not wanting to work at all, complaining, moaning about being at work and the difficulty, whatever, to like now I will work easily. I'll do over 40 hours in a week. I'll gladly do that so I can provide. You know, I want to provide for my girl. I want to provide for myself. And that's what motivates me. And it's just interesting, like the stuff that I've gone through. I was so focused on what I could have done, what I should have done this, what I should have done that. I didn't know that that was shaping me to become like this. Like I am unrecognizable to who I was before in my teenager years, and so like that's something that I recognize that now. Like it's unbelievable to me. Like the work ethic that I have now. That's why I believe that I'm an asset to any team because I show up every day excited to be able to work. And when you have the people like me that do that, or you have the people like my previous self, like other people that hate going to work, that hate doing this, that show up with a freaking nasty ass attitude every day. It's like you don't know how lucky you are to be able to have functioning limbs, to be able to speak, to be able to breathe, to be able to wake up and go and work, to be able to go and make some money. Like there's people out there that are freaking working their butts off for pennies on the dollar,
Oh
and so
yeah,
it's
I know,
like
man.
to
I,
be able to work is a gift. It's a blessing, and that's something
I,
that I was never appreciative of before. And it's like,
well, that's maturity. You know, you're. It's really shifting because, especially, and I don't want to say this like as a blanket statement for all young people, but the majority of young people today have a different mindset. Even in my generation, there was a lot of lazy young people in my generation
yeah,
too. But going further back in time, if you go back 100 years, man, that was not normal. Like 100 years ago, when you were 12 years old, you were working hard. I mean, if you look at the story of Walt
Yeah.
Disney, when he was a child, he was delivering newspapers in the snow for his dad.
Yeah.
I mean, some people, and if he wasn't doing his job right, he got beat. So like, kids have it so easy today, man. Like, I mean, we really need to develop a strong work ethic in our nation to make our country, to maintain sovereignty, because otherwise somebody else is going to take the place, right?
Exactly.
The fruits go to the ones who are willing to do the work.
Absolutely. And I don't want to stray too far off the topic because it's so easy for me to keep going. But basically, like, that's just one thing that I noticed that I appreciate. And to be faithful and to have strong faith that there's a plan for you, even in the midst of the darkness that you're going through and the crappy living situation and whatever it is, it's like you're getting prepared for something better than that.
Yeah.
And when you know that,
Yeah.
it makes the journey a lot more easier, a
Yeah.
little bit more enjoyable. It makes it more,
Absolutely.
you
Well, they
can,
say do everything as unto the Lord.
yeah,
And if you're doing it for as though you're serving God, knowing that He has put you there for two reasons. Number one, to shape you, but number two, to help the people that you're serving. Right? That's a function that has to be performed, whether it be for a season or a lifetime. You're going to discover that in the process, but you have to trust that there's benefits all around. It's a big web, a spider web, and all that connectivity has to happen to get you to the next level. And you can trust that He is going to help you move to whatever your dreams are. As long as I'm going to preface that with saying, as long as those dreams are in alignment with His will, because He's not going to give you a free pass to go become a axe murderer, you know.
Exactly.
You know, if it's good, then he's going to want to give it to you because because he loves you 100%. And so
exactly,
work through that process and get there following his guidance, because he will give you the guidance to get to where you want to go.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
All right, so why don't you give us the keys, the 4 keys from this lesson?
Absolutely. So it looks like our key theme of the day is that we are to live by faith, not by sight, fully trusting God even when everything seems to be failing around us, which can be very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Key challenge: when you feel troubled and overwhelmed, stop and ask God to give you strength in His name. The key verse: the Lord God is my strength. He will make my feet like deer's feet, and He will make me walk on my high hills. Hills. Key prayer, or
Not heels.
I was saying, I don't know why I'm thinking heels, man.
That's for the women.
That was Habakkuk, verse 3:19. The key prayer: Lord, even when my life seems to be falling apart around me, thank you for being my shelter and guide. I give you all the glory and praise, for I know you are walking with me through every hardship and trial.
Yep.
So it's
That's
just
awesome.
like what we talked about on the last episode. Even through the storm, he hasn't forgotten his children. You know, he hasn't forgot about you. So
not at all. He's watching us every step of the way. He's with us. He lives inside of us. If you're a Christian, then the Holy Spirit is living inside of you. So he knows exactly. Besides, he's omniscient. He's seen everything already.
Yep.
He knows what you're going through. There's a reason for it. Figure it out.
It's building you. That's right.
And stay optimistic. Stay positive.
Yep.
So awesome. This is encouraging when you're going through a hard time to read this and remember, hey, Habakkuk went through this. This was probably around 700 BC. So we're talking 2,700 years ago. This wisdom was passed on to us. How ancient and how still relevant it is today. But a lot of people don't recognize or realize that this wealth of knowledge is available to everyone, but people just don't tune into it. And if you look at the majority of the content that's out there, the world is filling you with a whole bunch of negative stuff, but all you got to do is pick up a simple book like this that gives you instructions on how to deal with those hard times and to show you, hey, this has been happening for 2,700 years. It's normal.
Exactly.
And guess what? We're all going through it too. You're not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. You never know what's
encouragement in that.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm ready to do the Entrefluential tip of the day. Are you cool with that?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Awesome.
Right.
All right. I'm excited about this one, man. I've really been enjoying every part of our show. I'm really having fun here with this. This is so cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is from our class, the Entrefluential Network Marketing Business Bootcamp. And so for people who are watching who don't know what that is, so if you're a network marketer, you're basically recruiting people to come and two things: buy stuff from you, like the ghost powder that Sebastian was showing. If you represent a protein company, a company that creates health and wellness products, then you could be selling those products and earning a commission for every bottle that's sold, right? So you're kind of doing like affiliate marketing with that aspect. But with network marketing, you're not only selling those products, but you're also recruiting people to go out there and sell those products. So Sebastian's smiling over there. I see you smiling over there. Hey, so like if you, let's say for instance that you have, let's say you have 20 agents that are working underneath you in your downstream, right? Yeah. In your network marketing business. Well, if those 20 people are, let's say they're all personal fitness trainers, and they get all their clients to buy the products that they're selling, they're earning a commission for the products that they're selling, the protein powder, right? And then you on the upstream, everybody that's above you is earning money. It's like multi-level marketing. So network marketing, this class, the Entrefluential Network Marketer, is a boot camp on how to do that business. So what we're talking about here in this section, because there's a lot of components to the course, this section is talking about how to do marketing, right? How to attract people to come into your network and be agents for your company, right? You're basically recruiting agents.
Yeah.
And so this lesson here is from module 3, and we call this module stealth sponsorships. And the reason why I titled it stealth sponsorships is because you're like a ninja. They can't see you coming. You're presenting information and you're recruiting them. You're sponsoring them into your organization. You're going to be their coach.
Right.
You're going to sponsor them in your organization, and you're going to help them build a business, and you're going to profit from it. You see?
Like a ninja.
So, stealth sponsorship. And then this specific segment is called tactical recruiting operations. Tactical is the boots on the ground. This is how we're going to get the job done.
Yep.
So the first part of this lesson is called create curiosity. So the reason why creating curiosity is important is because you want people to pay attention to you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're an influencer, you're doing things that are intriguing to the audience. People who don't know who you are, they're strangers, and you want them to know you, like you, and trust you. So in order for them to get to know you, you can use things that create curiosity in their minds so that they'll pay attention to what you're doing and start to like you. So you move in the process of know, like, trust. When they trust you, then they'll start doing business with you.
Yeah.
Right? That's the end game. So how do you get them to be curious about you? How do you develop curiosity? Well, 2 things are recommended here. Number 1, share your success stories. Everybody loves success stories. When you see the guy with the Lambo, you get curious. What is that person doing to earn that Lambo? What is Sebastian doing to get that Aston Martin, right? Or that Ferrari? Okay. So share your success stories. And then the second item is share how-to advice on social media. So when you can teach people how to do something, they're going to be curious if they want to know what you're doing, how to do what you're doing, so they can do it too. So creating curiosity often involves sparking interest or intrigue in a particular topic or a question. Here's 8 tactics to encourage exploration. Number 1, ask thought-provoking questions. Pose questions that challenge conventional thinking or encourage exploration. Open-ended questions are particularly effective for getting your audience's attention. Number 2 is share intriguing facts or stories. Intriguing stories. By sharing surprising facts, like for instance, the other day I sent you a text. I was like, hey, Sebastian, did you know that by 2030, which is only in 6 years from now, 50% of the population is going to be considered obese?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting fact, right? And that's going to raise a lot of eyebrows. So things like that's a good example of sharing an interesting fact that will get people to be interested and pay attention to your topic.
Yeah.
All right. You want them to want to know more. And if you can get them to be curious, then you can pull them in and start building trust with them. Start building like and trust.
That's your hook right there. Like in a book, when you're trying
to
hook the reader, catch their attention to make them want to read more.
And pull them in.
The eye attention. That's the attention grabber right there.
It is. All of this is all about getting attention. All of this is about getting attention. All right. So the third tactic is use mystery and suspense. Why was Scooby-Doo so popular? A lot of suspense, right? A lot of mystery. They had the mystery machine, right?
Yeah.
Their van, the mystery machine. It automatically created mystery just because it said it's the mystery machine. What are they up to, right? Yep. So creating mystery and suspense is another tactic. And the way that you do that is you provide partial information, give them a piece of the pie, but don't give them the whole pie. You want to leave some details out to make them curious to know more. They're going to want to know the rest of the story, right? What's the throw off? What's the takeaway? What's the results? Get them curious by being mysterious. Okay. All right. And then you'll prompt them to want to fill in the gaps, right? To answer the questions, to solve the problem, to close the loop. You open a loop and they want to close that loop, right? Yeah. Okay. People don't like leaving things unfinished. So you open up a curiosity in their mind. They've got to finish the story. All right. Number 4 is show the relevance. Why is this important to me? Answer the question WIIFM. Get them to tune into that. The WIIFM is what's in it for me. All right. Yep. If you can tell them why it's relevant to the audience, then they're going to be interested. And I can tell you right now, a few things that gets people's attention is how can they attract fame, because people they desire to be known, right? And money, talk about money, and you're going to get their attention talking about money, because people want to be able to buy stuff. If you talk about health and beauty, people are aesthetic. They're into aesthetics, and so they want to look good. They want to feel good. So if you talk about health or beauty, you're going to get their attention. Those are just a few things for attracting for relevance, speaking to relevance. All right, number 5 is appeal to emotions. If you tap into emotions, you're going to get their attention, right? Because people, they buy with emotions and then they justify with logic. They'll make a rationale for why they did what they did to justify their acts, but they're really acting on emotion. So if you hit triggers on their emotions, they're going to respond. So ways that you can appeal to their emotions is using things like wonder, right? Curiosity, surprise, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Sebastian just did that. Okay. And then also excitement. Hey guys, congratulations. Thank you for joining us. It's our 50th podcast. Thank you so much. You create excitement and get them to be interested in what you're doing. And that way you evoke their emotions, you get them to feel something, and you have a better opportunity to get them to be more curious about what you're doing. Yeah. All right, number 6 is to highlight knowledge gaps. If you point out what they don't know, you tell them, hey, this is what you're missing here, and this is how you can find it and get it, then you can get their attention that way as well. Because people, more often than not, they're going to be willing to explore whatever topic it is that you just told them that they don't know about, just like you did. Like, I'm going to go find out if this doctor is an MD. Is he a real medical doctor, or is he a chiropractic doctor? I want to know. Right? Yeah. Right? Or is he a doctor of philosophy, PhD? Right? Number 7, offer a challenge or a puzzle for them to solve. All right? If you pose a problem or like for them to resolve, or a puzzle, like I need to figure out how to fix this, then you'll motivate them to do some research to find the answers. And if you tell them that you have the solution, just to go to your website, right, to find that solution, then that's a good way to lure them in. Okay. And then number 8 is to provide a teaser. And the teaser is basically, it's like when you go to Chick-fil-A and you're looking at the menu and you're curious and you're like, I don't know if I want a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I've heard Chick-fil-A, and I can see there's a line of people here, but I'm not 100% sure because there's all these other choices in the food court. Should I go get the Chinese food? Should I go get some tacos at Taco Bell? And then this person walks up to you with a tray and they give you a taste of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. And you eat that chicken nugget and then you're like, that's it. I'm buying a Chick-fil-A sandwich. They hooked you with a teaser, with a taste. And so give them a taste of what you're doing, product or service. And that way you can get them to want more and hook them in. So in closing, remember that the effectiveness of these strategies depends on your audience and what you're doing. Why are you trying to attract your audience in the first place? Keeping those things in mind, specific to your situation and specific to your audience, you can maximize curiosity so that you can move from know to like to trust. That's the point of getting them into your sphere of influence, building rapport. That's getting them to know you. And then you start working on like and trust. And so next week, I'm going to give you some tips on how to build trust. Sound good?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. That's it. That's the Entrefluential tip of the day.
All right. That was excellent.
Thank you.
I like it. It was fun.
Yeah, I think so too. Although I'm biased because I wrote it. All right. So that's it, man. You got anything else before we wrap up? I think we did pretty good on time today.
Yeah, I think so too. That was great. That was a very fun 50th episode. It's a pretty big milestone for us right now. So it was great. I enjoyed it. I had a great time today.
I did too, man. And I hope we get the same amount of shares from our followers as we did last week, because we had 17 shares on Facebook last week.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. I love
you.
it. Almost 1,000 views. 892 is the last time I checked.
Yeah, it's slowly growing.
Yep. Love it. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up and we'll come back next week. And unless you got anything else.
I think that's it for today.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I really enjoyed hanging out with you, as I always do.
Me too.
And for all of you guys, if you don't know about every Saturday, if you haven't visited our website yet, go to Entrefluential.club. You can receive copies of this every Tuesday. I think it's on WordPress, so I think if you subscribe to our blog at Entrefluential.club, you'll get an email notification when we post these shows. So tomorrow, Sebastian will upload this to Anchor, and I'll post this onto our website, Entrefluential.club, so that anybody who's following us will get an email with a link to the show. But so that's one benefit. But the other thing is every Saturday we have what's called Student Saturday, and we teach business building techniques, business building skills. So if you sign up to the Entrefluential.club, you'll receive those notifications every Saturday as well. Sound good?
Oh, yeah.
I think so too. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. God bless you all, and have a fantastic rest of your week. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
And don't forget,
go out there and amplify your message. Take care. God bless you all.
God bless
Bye-bye. See you, Sebastian.
Bye.